Today we're exploring a fruit family you've probably eaten without even knowing its scientific name, Spondias. These curious fruits shaped regional cuisine long before global supermarkets existed. Their tartness, firmness, fiber profile, and highly fermentable pulp made them foundational food sources across drought seasons, harvest festivals, and trade exchanges. From Latin America to West Africa and Southeast Asia, Spondias fruits became cultural identity markers. Let's go deep into what makes them historically powerful, nutritionally meaningful, agriculturally resilient, and culturally unforgettable. Spondias is a remarkable botanical genus that reflects one of the most culturally distributed fruit groups in the tropical belt. Unlike fruits that emerged from a single geographical seed source and later expanded, the various Spondias species evolved in multiple culturally significant zones almost simultaneously: Mesoamerica, Caribbean islands, northern regions of South America, equatorial Africa, and parts of Southeast Asia. Today, these fruits maintain deep emotional meaning as seasonal markers and gastronomic staples. To understand the genus, the three main food significant species must be named clearly: Spondias purpurea, red Mombin. Native to Mesoamerica, these fruits appear deep red-purple when ripe. The skin is waxy, their pulp sweet and fibrous, and their flavor profile reminiscent of sugar plum and tropical peach. Indigenous Central American societies consumed them fresh, but the greatest cultural innovation was fermentation. Red Mombin wines, cordials, and fruit pastes were part of ceremonial cycles long before European arrival. The dried pulp candies remain in Mexican market culture today. Spondias Mombin, yellow hog plum. This species is one of the defining fruits of Caribbean seasonal life. Yellow hog plums ripen intensely in summer months, triggering neighborhood-level harvest excitement. Street vendors shout seasonal slogans specifically about hog plum arrivals. Jamaicans boil them into syrups, Trinidadians brine them into salted snacks, and Barbadians turn them into chutney sauces served with fried fish. Its acidic pulp works beautifully as a base for vinegar production, which historically served as food preservation for low-income communities. Spondias dulcis, Ambarella, golden apple. Originally domesticated in Pacific cultures, Ambarella traveled through Polynesian migration, colonial trade routes, and later agro-exchange pathways into Southeast Asia and parts of Africa. Unlike Mombin fruits, Ambarella has more crispness and a strikingly fragrant acidity. Fiji, Samoa, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Cameroon, and the Philippines all have parallel preparation traditions. Filipinos blend it into sweet iced beverages, Sri Lankans pickle it with chili powder, Nigerians pound it into spicy paste, Samoans eat it lightly salted with coconut cream. So why is Spondias historically important beyond flavor? Because these fruits carried resilience. Their trees adapted to drought, wind exposure, humidity swings, and low fertility soils. They provided seasonal sugars, highly fermentable fruit, long-lasting pastes, natural vinegar precursors, fiber-rich pulp, micronutrients. Communities struggling during dry seasons relied on unripe Spondias to maintain acidity in diets that lacked fruit-based vitamin sources. From an anthropological angle, Spondias reveals how traditional societies solved both food preservation and nutritional supplementation. The pulp dried into sheets remains edible for months, candied chunks stored in cane sugar syrup lasted entire seasons. But perhaps the most important cultural transformation occurred through condiments. Across Mexico, hog plums entered the salsa dip ecosystem. Street-sold chamoy variations originally evolved from salted fermented plum pulp, including Spondias relatives. The acidic profile became culinary treasure. Caribbean chutneys applied turmeric and mustard seeds, Yoruba communities blended yellow plum pastes with smoked fish, coastal Colombian cuisine built spice pastes around mashed Spondias fruits. Modern fast food evolution hides this origin, but indigenous processing traditions carried the technology and palate preference. Another powerful historical dimension lies in fermentation. Red Mombin wine, low alcohol, naturally yeasted, was a communal beverage. Villages fermented it in ceramic pots sealed with leaves. The fermentation produced mild tannins and a sweet acidic aroma similar to plum liqueur. The modern beverage equivalent in Central America can still be traced to those early traditions. Spondias trees also played agroecological roles. Their root systems stabilized tropical slopes. Their leaf drop patterns enrich soil nitrogen. Their flowering systems attract pollinators that later help native crops fruit. Some agricultural historians argue that Spondias trees indirectly increased early maize yields because bees drawn to hog plum blossoms cross-pollinated surrounding fields. Botanically, the fruits belong to drupe classification, single hard stone inside soft fleshy pulp. The seed is large and fibrous, almost woody, acting as a reservoir preventing rapid decomposition. This means ancient communities could transport Spondias over distances without it rotting as fast as other fruits. That helped them spread through canoe travel, tribal trade, colonial botanical transfer. This multi-region presence explains why today the same fruit has dozens of names: golden apple, hog plum, Ambarella, June plum, Jobo, Ovo, Y, Cahor. Names track migrations. In the 21st century, Spondias is undergoing rediscovery. Chefs in New York and London now use hog plums in ceviche acids instead of lime juice. Filipino restaurants export bottled Ambarella nectar. Caribbean caterers serve authentic hog plum chow as premium catering appetizers. Meanwhile, Mexico's traditional pulpas, fruit pastes, are turning into gourmet candy production. Scientific research recently focused not on pulp but on Spondias leaf compounds. Ethnomedical communities previously used leaf decoctions against inflammation, fever, and digestive imbalance. Modern phytochemical assays identified antimicrobial effectiveness and phenolic compounds supporting antioxidant classification. While pharmacological validation requires caution, these biochemical findings explain why traditional cultures preserve these medicinal rituals. At the farming level, Spondias has advantages modern agriculture appreciates: fast fruiting maturation, high drought tolerance, shade giving canopy, minimal pesticide need. In reforestation projects, Spondias is chosen intentionally, not just for food but to rebuild soil life. At the emotional level, Spondias signals home. Ask Jamaicans about summer hog plums. Ask Senegalese households about seasonal Ambarella. Ask Mexican kids about red Mombin candies sold in schoolyards. The reaction is memory. Therefore, when we talk about Spondias, we are not simply talking about fruit, we talk about a living archive of migration, adaptation, flavor, survival, and identity. This fruit group, grown in the humid tropics for thousands of years, represents one of humanity's quietest agricultural triumphs.